Hi, you're listening to Cultivate Curiosity, a podcast that inspires the next generation to stay curious.
Cultivate Curiosity is brought to you by the Emerald Coast Science Center, a nonprofit interactive science museum in Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
This podcast is for anyone curious about the world around them, because you never know what we'll talk about next.
Hey everyone, it's Eileen, the Community Engagement Coordinator here at the Emerald Coast Science Center. We're so glad that you are here for one more episode before summer officially kicks off. I'm here today with Harley, our Education Coordinator and Exhibit Curator, and Diane, our Executive Director.
Hello.
Hello.
Today's episode's all about something that we think is really important this time of year, and all times of the year, honestly, and that is taking a break. Summer can feel like a reset button. School's out, schedules change, routines get a bit messier, and that's not always a bad thing.
So I've noticed that summer can feel different for everyone. It should feel restorative. It shouldn't feel like an overscheduled thing like the school year. Kids and adults both need downtime. And curiosity doesn't have to stop when school does, and learning can look different for everyone in the summer. So I think sometimes we treat rest like something that we have to earn, especially during busy seasons. But no matter the age, brains need breaks to recharge. Creativity often happens during that downtime, and unstructured time encourages the most imagination.
Be bored.
Yeah,
it's good to be bored sometimes.
While rest matters, so does continuing to feed your brain. Rest can be a part of learning too, and the summer can be different for each and every individual. And what may work for one person may not work for another. So it's important to find what makes you curious and what brings you joy, whether you're an adult or whether you're just a kid or a kid at heart. Now, when you think of summer learning, your brain probably immediately jumps to homework or worksheets. And when you think of it that way, it may not sound like an exciting thing or a fun thing. But learning doesn't have to look the same as it does in the classroom. There are plenty of other great and healthy ways to learn, have fun, and recharge all at the same time.
Like brain fuel. So some brain fuel that you can definitely go out and do, one we're always going to promote, is going out and exploring museums, especially Science Museum. Ask a bunch of questions, go out on nature walks, try any new hobbies that you're interested in or that your friends are interested in. Do some fun science experiments at home. Have some good conversations with your friends and family. Read. Reading is one we're going to be focusing on today. Go lay in the grass, go touch the earth a little bit.
Oh, look at the clouds.
Look at the clouds is a great one.
Mm-hmm. While you're laid in the grass. Play that game. Play that game. Well, what does that cloud look like?
Always a dog.
So think of your brain like a muscle. And I think a lot of times over the summer, we kind of let our brain go into like hibernation, and it gets atrophied. And that just makes it harder to reboot that learning when the school year starts back up. So as with all muscles, we want to be consistently using them and exercising them, especially as we age. Cough, cough. Some of us are older than others.
Happy birthday, Diane.
Yeah. But it's important to continue to use your brain. And I think that's one of the things that we talk about as an aging population is having social contacts and also doing new things and learning new things that creates new pathways in our brain, and it gives our brain exercise. And that's so important when you've reached my stage of life. And that curiosity, let that lead the way for you. I mean, just look around and ask questions and then go and figure out what the answers are. Whether it's just, you find a book on it or you
fiddle with it.
Fiddle with it. Absolutely. Yeah. Or get dirty, touch the earth. It's really important.
Make yourself grounded to the ground. And that actually brings us to one of our favorite summer brain foods, books. So when we read, our brains do something really cool. We can build worlds in our head. We encourage creativity. It helps visualization. It inspires curiosity. It may get you interested in a topic that you never would have thought to look at before. Books will let us experience lives and perspectives that we wouldn't normally see otherwise.
No, I think that lives and perspectives things is so important. I am a huge mystery fan, so I love to read mysteries that are set in other countries. As a matter of fact, very often do I read books that are...
Anything else? I'm just kidding.
Well, no, that too, but also books that are set in the United States. Okay, so I'm a British.
Like, I'm here. I live here.
I'm a British cozy girl, so I like the armchair British cozy mysteries. There's some really great Scandinavian noir ones that are like kind of dark. It just depends on what part. But I think that's a great learning experience too. So that kind of feeds into that escapism, like mentally getting away from your everyday life and kind of opening some new thought processes
And a different perspective.
Absolutely a different perspective. And I think especially now we're so globally connected with everything else, it's important for us to continue to learn about other cultures and how they approach things. And a great way to do that is obviously through books set in
Even if it's a murder mystery.
even if it's a murder mystery.
Get deep in the mind of the criminal.
Yes. Okay, remember, I am a forensic science person at heart. So, that kind of feeds right into
Got to
that.
figure out if they're actually doing the right science or not. Too,
Exactly,
in the book.
right? But then also, reading can be very relaxing. And I think also, just give you that moment of I can be completely someplace else. I don't have to physically be in a different place. I can still physically be here in my home, but my mind and my headspace can be in an entirely different place that I can only go to through a story in a book. So whether the books that you're reading, I mean, they don't have to be classics. They don't have to be giant novels. They could be anything. Audiobooks. I'm a huge audiobook person.
They also don't have to be what's trending, too.
Exactly. You find what you like.
Yeah.
Graphic novels. Those are fantastic. Great ways to experience reading. Magazines. There's a lot of great stories and articles in magazines as well. And nature guides. I mean, I think one of our favorite things that when we do the bio blitzes is giving those kids those books, those Audubon books. And those kids have never seen a book like that before. Like, what do you mean? There's this many yellow butterflies in the state of Florida? Oh my gosh.
We're going to talk about some of our favorite books later, but in terms of like the nature guide, I have these 2 Living Beaches books that I always take to the beach with me and flip through and just will read, or if I see this bird or that bird, I'm like, did I find that one? Did I find this one? So it doesn't have to be just something to even escape. It can also still be that learning aspect to it as well. It can be real.
Well, you're going to the beach and you're extending your experience in the beach by also learning about the beach and who shares that habitat while you're in that habitat.
All those different avenues, like the magazines, the graphic novels, those also gives the opportunity for all of these different learners to learn in the way that they are comfortable. So some people learn from pictures. Some people learn better by imagining things. Some people learn better by doing it themselves. So all of those different kinds of books or read is really important to show that it's okay and it's still going to bring that curiosity and still going to bring that joy. So we thought it would be fun to share some of our favorite summer reads straight from the Science Center team. Harley, Diane, I know you have a handful of great recommendations. What books would you recommend exploring this summer?
Diane has 10 handfuls of recommendations.
You know it, girly. I'm going to close this out.
Yeah. I kind of split mine up a couple of different ways. Right now, I'm currently reading House of the Cerulean Sea. It's by TJ Klein. It's like a fantasy, magical children, whimsy. It feels like a little warm hug every time I read it. This person named Linus, he works for this Department of Magical Youth, and he is sent to this island to basically find out if these children are dangerous or not. And they're obviously magical because they're magical children. And then there's a second book as well that I want to read next. It's called Somewhere Beyond the Sea. You're reading it?
I finished it. I read
So you have it?
Some of those that were on your list were on her list.
Yeah.
Oops. Well, the next one is one that I want to recommend because Diane gave it to me, called Braiding Sweetgrass. I wouldn't even say it's just a summer read. If it is, I would you can read books whenever you want, but it almost feels a little bit more of like a fall read. So I would recommend maybe at the end of summer, maybe trying to tie this one in. It's all about plants, using plants and the earth to just create harmony. Talks a little bit about like Western science and indigenous cultures, indigenous practices. One of the things that we've incorporated here through that is kind of doing a couple of different programs on the Three Sisters garden, just some knowledge on that. You can read the book to find out more of those things, and just kind of focusing a little bit on how within the Three Sisters, plants grow better alone, and so do people when we work to understand different human cultures and knowledges to support each other. 2 books that I want to read next, and I like to read, physically look at them, but I also am like an audiobook person as well. I love to just like walk and listen to an audiobook. I really want to read Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. You're reading it too?
I already read it.
Diane. I am on the wait list for Libby. I think I'm like 12th in line, so it's going to be a second before I get it.
What is Libby?
Libby is an app on your phone that you can basically reserve books and audiobooks when you have a library card.
Interesting.
And you get to keep them for 21 days.
Yeah.
And then like what she's talking about, Everything is Tuberculosis, that's on my list. I mean, I've already read it, but it's a fantastic book.
Yeah.
Fantastic book. But
most of the time they'll have like a version where you can just read through it on your phone, or like an audiobook version, and you can just place holds on either of them or
right,
both of them.
If they're already checked out,
Yeah.
and it'll notify you when it's your turn to get it.
Okay, nice.
And then another one I want to read is A River Enchanted and A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross. It's about like fairies, magic, romance. I like the fantasy fairies. I don't think this one is necessarily like fairies and smutty, but those ones are also good. Diane, give us your, I don't know how long you need to talk about all your books,
okay,
but it's your turn.
Okay, so I kind of just stuck with the science theme because I think a lot of people can think about, oh, am I going to read a nonfiction science book and it's going to be like awful and I don't want to do it. So the majority of these books that I've put on my list, which I think you're going to make a list and attach it.
Yes.
Okay. The majority of them I have read at some point in time, some of them years ago, but I want to start with my all-time favorite book.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. I have this book in so many different versions. It came out in like the 2000s, early 2000s. And it is A Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. And if you know Bill Bryson, he is very dry sense of humor. He also did the book A Walk in the Woods, where he and his friend do the Appalachian Trail. That was made into a movie and Robert Redford starred in it, which is years ago. Okay.
Who's that?
Different generation. But it is the short history of nearly everything is sort of like him just like musing about, I wonder how we figured that out, you know? And so he goes through all of these stories about how we kind of made connections and how we know what we know through scientific investigations. And I think why I love it so much is you can learn so much science in it, but it's also told as a story. So it's not dry. It's quirky. The stories are quirky. He also goes into several different genres of science. So he covers like the gambit from like space to dinosaurs to all of the things. And I dearly, dearly, dearly love this book. I listen to it probably once a year just because I talk about it so much and tell those stories from the books. He also has another book that I really like. It's called The Body, A Guide for Occupants. And the thing I remember most about this book is we were running a half marathon at the Stennis Space Center. And I was like, oh my God, I was so miserable. And I was listening to the part about how women have heart attacks, like these silent heart attacks, like they just happen. And there's no lead up to it. Right? Not like you would see the symptoms that you see in men. And so I'm running and I'm listening to this book about women just randomly having heart attacks just out of the blue. And I'm like, yep, here we go.
Let me slow down
This
really
is
quick.
Is that anxiety?
I was already so miserable. I'm like, this is not the time to hear this information. Okay, so a couple of other authors that I think are fantastic, and you can read any of their books. Davis Sobel, she wrote a great book, Longitude, the true story of a lone genius who solved the greatest scientific problem of his time, which was actually figuring out longitude. So when ancient sailors were trying to pinpoint where they are and what direction they were going in. She has Galileo's Daughter, which is a story about Galileo. The Glass Universe, which was talking about the women that made measurements at Harvard's observatory. Anything by Mary Roach. She's got some really great books. And she's also takes kind of like an irreverent look at her topics. Have you read some of her stuff, Harley?
I was just thinking, I've definitely heard of her before.
Yeah, so she's got a great one, Stiff, which is talking about human cadavers. There's Fuzz, When Nature Breaks the Law. Packing for Mars, which kind of delves into some history of space travel. Steven Johnson, I love him. One of my favorite books by him is How We Got to Now, and he just takes 6 innovations and kind of breaks it down, like how they came about and how they have changed our lives. And then another one that's really, really good, it's very historical, The Ghost Map by Steven Johnson. And he is looking at a cholera outbreak in London. I don't even remember when the time was, like 150 years ago. And how this one doctor traced through like talking to people, the outbreak to a single specific well where everybody went and got their water from. It's really, really cool. Sam Keane, he has a really great book. One of my favorites from his is called The Disappearing Spoon. And this is a fun story. Okay, fun stories about the periodic table of the elements. I know, right? You're laughing because you're thinking, seriously, how can we have fun stories about the periodic table? The premise of the name is gallium, which is a very, very soft metal, will melt when you put it into boiling water. So the disappearing spoon is if you have a spoon, and it's kind of like a science magic trick, right? You have a spoon made out of gallium and you stir it into boiling water and then it'll just melt and disappear.
Interesting.
Okay, so if you're into like big, meaty books, I mean like really, really very good books, but also like 500 plus pages. Siddhartha Mukherjee, he is an oncologist up in the Boston area, and he has some really great general science books. The first one I think that really put his name out there is The Emperor of All Maladies, a biography of cancer. And this book won the 2011 Pulitzer Prize for General Nonfiction, which is, I sort of think, got him going. Like I said, he's an oncologist. It's a fantastic book. He talks about why there's no one cure for cancer, because there's a lot of different cancers, right? And so there's not going to be one cure that can cure all of these different things. So we have to kind of look at them individually. And then the next book he wrote was called The Gene, An Intimate History. So it kind of like takes us through the history of the discovery of the gene, DNA, how we're currently using DNA, and ways that we might be able to use it in the future, based mostly inside of medicine. And then the next one that he wrote is called The Song of the Cell. And this is where he kind of like takes a cell and goes in and looks at each individual part of a cell and like kind of goes into some history on like how we discovered it, what's the function of it. And so again, these are big books. Big books, lots of hours on your audio. Then another one that there's a brand new one coming out. This is Steve Brusatte, and he is a paleontologist. He's American, but I think he is currently based out of Scotland. And his first book is The Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs. And then the next one he wrote was The Rise and Reign of Mammals. And then the one that's just coming out right now is The Story of Birds. And I've read The Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs, and I raved about it. It was so good. So, but no, I highly recommend those books. I have Hope Jaron's Lab Girl, which is just a beautiful book. Mm-hmm. She's does basic science research, and have you read it, Harley?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that book.
It's a great book. John Green, Everything is Tuberculosis. Yuval Noah Harari.
Sounds like that's our next book read.
Yes, it should be. It's a great book. Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, which is sort of like the history of humans. It's really good. The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. That's on my list. Yeah, that's a great book. Mm-hmm. I think we sell it in the gift shop. Mm-hmm. We have before.
I'll go borrow it and then return it to the gift shop.
Ed Young, I Contain Multitudes, The Microbes Within Us, and A Grander View of Life. And we've seen him speak before, Harley.
Yeah.
Twice he's been the keynote speaker at the Association of Science and Technology Centers conference. He was this past year.
Yeah. Is that the book that he was promoting? No, it was a different one.
No, this book is his first book. I Contain Multitudes was an
the
older
one
book.
that he was promoting?
It was about animals. Remember, because he talked.
Yes.
Yeah, he was talking about how he'd become a birder.
Didn't you buy it?
I did, and I got him to sign it too.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave it to my daughter for Christmas.
An Immense World?
That's it. That's the one he was talking about at this past ASTC. Michael Pollan, The Omnivore's Dilemma, and he's got a couple of other books that are out. That's talking about like how we choose to eat. Yeah, and like what impact of how we eat has on the planet. Yeah,
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And then I love Malcolm Gladwell. He's got a lot of really kind of sciencey, but more social science as well. And I'm going to tell you the one of his that I read, The Bomber Mafia.
I was about to say The Tipping Point.
Oh, The Tipping Point is great, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I liked Blink too. And then he has a Revenge of the Tipping Point, which is like a continuation of The Tipping Point, which is a newer version.
Interesting.
But The Bomber Mafia, the subtitle is A Dream, a Temptation, and the Longest Night of the Second World War. It is like a history of the Air Force.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because how it like kind of started out of World War II, which is pretty relevant to us. I mean, where we live.
Our area,
Yeah, being surrounded by it. Okay, Anything by Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I love him.
And he writes in a way that's pretty understandable. So I had astrophysics.
As he should. He's like a
great science community.
Yeah,
Breaks
great
down
science
so that
communicator.
anybody can understand,
Exactly.
no matter what age you are.
So he has Astrophysics for People in a Hurry and Death by Black Hole. A couple of years ago, I read this book, The Code Breaker, Jennifer Doudna, Gene Editing and the Future of the Human Race. So Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuelle Charpentier won the Nobel Prize for the CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing. And that book is by Walter Isaacson, and he is a great biographer. He's done a biography on Da Vinci. I think he did the one on Steve Jobs that was really popular. So that's like his forte, is writing good biographies. Now, Jennifer Doudna is, of course, still alive and doing a lot of great scientific breakthroughs, but they won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry a couple of years ago. Remember, we had those two rats? And we named them Jennifer and Emmanuel, or Emma. I think
It
we
was
called
Jen and Emma.
Jen and Emma, because they had just won
After them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and another great book that I like is called 9 Pints, A Journey Through the Money, Medicine, and Mysteries of Blood. And it just sort of talks about our blood and kind of like a history of it. So
That's interesting.
yeah, that one's really good. So I just looked up the 100 best popular science books of all time. And here's some other authors that had multiple books on that list. Steven Pinker, Richard Dawkins. Now, my husband loves Richard Dawkins. He's British, and has probably, I don't even know how many books out, but he had probably at least 5 or 6 on this list of 100 best books. Richard Feynman, American physicist, I think he was out of Caltech, has a ton of books. Stephen Hawking, Carl Sagan, Simon Singh, Jared Diamond. I think Jared Diamond's books are more kind of like science and social science as well.
Well, the Stephen Hawking, like the biggest one is The Brief History of Time, right? And then Carl Sagan's book, Cosmos is who we named Cosmos after, the snake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then also Neil deGrasse Tyson did a
Cosmos as well. Or
a show on Netflix.
He
I
did.
think. Yeah, called Cosmos. Yeah.
But the
Not
book,
seen that.
Yeah.
but the book is by Carl Sagan. The
Right.
Cosmos.
It's the original one.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, we can go back even further, because the original Cosmos was by Alexander Humboldt,
Oh,
who our tarantula is named after.
look at that. We have Cosmos everywhere.
We have namesakes everywhere. Okay, and then we also have a couple of recommendations that have been sent in by other members of our staff. So one of our volunteers recommended Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. He did mention that it is absolutely for adults only, so please keep that in mind.
And then 2 of our other staff members, they sent in some of their books as well. We'll give you guys like the title, the author, and then if it is a kid or adult book as well. From one of our educators, Olivia, she recommended 2 books. Well, she recommended quite a few, but we asked everybody to give us 2. And one of them is Biomimicry by Seraphine Menu, and it's illustrated by Emmanuel Walker, and this one is actually for kids. And then another one she recommended is called Pests, How Human Create Animal Villains by Bethany Brookshire, and this one is for adults.
That sounds good.
Yeah. And then another one of our educators, or museum attendant, Kristen?
Yes.
Yes. Kristen, our museum attendant, she recommended Jurassic Park, all ages, of course. And then she also recommended the Giver series. So The Giver, Gathering Blue, Messenger, and Sun by...
Louise Lowry?
Yep.
Yeah.
All
The
ages.
Giver is such a good book.
Yeah. So those are some of our staff recommended books.
I do have one more to mention. I forgot that.
Yours.
I didn't put one in there.
Yes.
Right now, I'm reading a book called Upward Bound by Woody Brown. This is important to me because the book was written by somebody who is completely nonverbal. And his mother dedicated her life while he was growing up to go to school with him to help him figure out how to learn. And he was able to figure out that he can actually talk through letterboard. Full sentences. And he wrote a novel, and it's called Upward Bound. The book challenges readers to rethink their biases and recognize the rich inner lives of individuals often overlooked by society. So neurodiverse people that maybe you've come across in your lifetime but never really took the time to understand. I really love that book. I've only a couple chapters in so far, but it's definitely given a different perspective. Another thing we wanted to mention before we end this episode is there are a bunch of great places to get books. Specifically here in Fort Walton Beach, there is a place called the Book Rack, and that's a wonderful place to go and look for some local books.
I love the Book Rack.
It's a great place. Everyone
my
there
gosh.
is so nice. They're really great at helping you find a book that you are looking for, or
And
if you aren't
they also
sure.
sell used books too.
Yes.
So it's, you can, it's not as crazy expensive.
Exactly. And then also take a visit to our Fort Walton Beach Library. They have a lot of books, but they also offer a lot of programs that can get kids and adults involved in reading, learning, and all of those things during the summer. So make sure you check out the Fort Walton Beach Library. We love them.
Or any local library.
Yes.
Go to the library.
Oh, our libraries do such a fantastic
They really
job
do.
of providing so many different programs, and they're not just all reading based.
No.
So please check out your libraries. They're run by fantastic, passionate people that really want to help you.
We also do programming in the libraries as well. So check out all the additional ones, like Diane was saying, because there may be something there that isn't, your kid may not want to read a book, but he may still could go to the library and then be interested in looking at the
Do
books
a fun
after.
activity. I agree.
Well, I just was listening to something the other day talking about how that most young people now, when they get done with school, like with high school, don't read.
Yeah.
Don't read books anymore. And it's so bad in high school that they don't even assign them a full book to read. Like all those classics that I had to read when I was in high school, Tess of D'Urbervilles and, all of those kind of
Brave
like...
New World.
Yes.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah,
we could go on a different
1984.
tangent on this, but
But
Banned books, next podcast.
but they're not even reading the full books anymore. It's just people don't like read like we should read, because I think it also enhances your vocabulary when you read and you learn new words. I especially like when I listen, and then if I've been listening to somebody that reads with an accent, then all of a sudden in my head I'm talking in that accent
Or you're learning new words that you can use in everyday, like funny words.
And people would be like, what is that? But I just saw something that I'm super interested in. There's another great British scientist. His name is Brian Cox. Yes. And he is actually getting ready to go out on tour.
oh,
And I believe he has several books. I've not read anything by him, but he is going to be in Jacksonville in November. And I am so tempted to purchase a ticket.
hold on. Is this who we named Brian after?
Yes.
Our Madagascar day gecko
I
is
was
named
like-
after Brian.
Wait a second.
That guy looks familiar. Yeah. So I am seriously considering going to see him because he's a British science communicator.
Okay. Also in Denver in January.
I saw that too. If I really think he does a great job, maybe I'll go see him twice.
Well, I really love this episode because if there's a bunch of people or anybody that is intimidated by reading or doesn't know where to start, here's a big list for you to go ahead and start. And I'm going to be pulling a couple off of that list as well.
Well, and I think if anybody's intimidated by trying to read science,
Yes.
we have given you a wide variety of books that are very easy for the lay person to understand and sort of like get your feet wet and really spark your curiosity, and just I just love those, like, well, I wonder who thought of that. And how did that discovery reach where we are, to the level that we're at now? And I would start with that Stephen Johnson, How We Got to Now, because it's a really fun book. And also my Bill Bryson book.
I was about to say you didn't say your favorite one.
I
Just
just
start
said
with that
all
one.
your favorites. If there's one thing that we hope you take into summer, it's this. Rest does matter. Slowing down matters, but staying curious matters too. We'll be taking a short break from Cultivate Curiosity too, but don't worry, we'll be back this fall, so stay tuned and have an amazing summer.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep asking questions.
And keep cultivating curiosity.
Bye.